Morning. Hope you're all doing absolutely incredibly great. So, welcome to a new morning forecast. Let's get ready for the upcoming trading session. But one thing I want to touch on today before jumping into the chart work is that I have attached my trading playbook, which is also in the Notion document for the morning forecast. So if you find any of this useful, feel free to obviously like copy and use it. Um, that is like my trading plan, which I'm currently working with. It has been adopted and changed over the past couple of years and months, but that is something I found the best type of consistency with, and I tend to catch the best trades. So that is like my current playbook. Let me quickly explain to you because I want to have it a little bit more front of mind when going into the forecast. I just wanted to just put it somewhere where I actually have to look at it in the morning. So let me quickly explain to you. I do work a lot with the PSE model, so positioning, sequence, and entry, which is basically I do have three questions. Is the trade positioned well on the higher time frame for the anticipated direction? So are we in a good value area for the direction we're trading? Second thing is if we are in the area, do we have a natural sequence for the direction we want to trade with? So is price running well within sequence? And thirdly, if we do have the area and price is actually running in sequence, do we then have an entry on the lower time frames that allows us for like having a good management, having a good risk to reward overall, and is there an area where we can protect the position with the stop loss like properly? If so, that is like Falcon Water One. That is my bread and butter trades. I'm just gonna set it. But if one of them is missing and there are like different signals, then we can like reduce risk further. So it doesn't automatically mean we don't take the trade. We just need to adjust some risk parameters, and maybe we're going to wait for like an insurance entry or like an AFT entry. We can wait for higher time frame entry candle close if we're going to take the risk entry. We maybe size down like the position size. We're trading into like a London Open, for example. That is like something we can play with to reduce like the risk. And then finally, like this is like the um, basic parameters. If we're like, if we're trading on the daily chart, obviously it's like a 4 hour entry, etc. And if we're, for example, taking 1 hour structure, we can filter down to the 15 minutes. So this is the doorway system. My setups either two touch with an internal 1, 2, 3, or I'm going to take a three touch flag. AFT flags also very high on the cards, and obviously insurance entry is always an option. Entry candlesticks is either going to be like a full retrace or a high test, but through the area. And very important, if the entry time frame is locked or candle is not closed yet, there's no trade for me. And finally, the management type. If I am in a trade and I'm in drawdown, I will be preferring the 3 to 1. And if it is like a limited range within a pattern, then I'm going to also use it. If we're having like a limited range overall, then I'm going to do like the 90% method. And if we're just trading in an open range, it's like just basic trading. Yeah, and this is finally something I'm using to keep myself grounded. And I repeat the sentence before every trading session. I think it's a pretty nice, pretty good mindset to be in. So that is my trading plan. I just wanted to have it covered. And now let's get straight into today's watch list. So starting off with the DXY, we can see we are still in this sideways movement. This obviously looked like larger daily continuation, which didn't commit. So this is more like an M style pattern, which we're currently looking at. If I'm dropping to the 4 hour chart, you can see for our 1, 2, 3, we're now looking for price to essentially travel all the way back up into the highs. We're bullish on the DXY unless we get like a different signal, but looking for something for price to mimic this right now. So is there a lower time frame entry available? I don't really believe so, but let's take a look at euro dollar. We're looking primarily for the shorts in here, so the inverse to the DXY, and you can see this is the 1, the 2, the 3, which we are looking at. So this is our range. On the lower time frames, we have to deal with this kind of wick and this little 1, 2, 3 against the direction. So yesterday morning we were forming this, and I already thought that this might be a trap because we have the DXY against us, and this little 50-minute structure is not going to negate all of the trading idea overall. So I'm still focused on the short, and I wouldn't be opposed to taking this short in today's session. 10 pip stop loss is more than sufficient if we're gonna get like a little 1, 2, 3 towards our designated entry area. Is this the most beautiful lower time frame entry? Definitely not, especially with wick. But we are trading within the trend and gotta pay attention to how the DXY formed at its stage. So if this turns out to be like a very nice sideways 1 hour structure, we can definitely entertain this for the short. So yeah, pound dollar also being interesting, but not on watch. You see, price is not really forming anything of significance. To be fair, this is like not great repeatable price action. To be fair, so we do have our entry value. We have a value area in here, and I was thinking we might actually approach it with a 1, 2, 3, which doesn't really look like it currently. I mean, if euro dollar sells off, pound dollar will probably follow suit. So it could technically be that we get all the way down there and then we get our 1, 2, 3. I don't really know. I'm not preferring pound dollar at the moment. Aussie dollar, quite similar. Overall, from the higher time frame point of view, great area. And we got our expanding, got the push down. But this flag is pretty large to be the first flag, to be fair. So I was waiting for the insurance entry anyway, which we didn't get. So this doesn't follow the natural trend. So we got our 1, our 2, we got the middle section, we got 1, 2, 3. Price should have committed from here, but it didn't form a continuation. And now we're looking where we're forming another continuation to the upside. So that pretty much negates our idea. Do I gonna switch my bias and now trade to the upside? I don't really think so because we still got this one, so it could form a mini double top and then go. A couple different scenarios in here. Nothing really convincing me, especially with DXY. So I'm not overly excited to trade Aussie dollar for today. Euro Kiwi looking much more interesting. We got the value area, we got the push down. So I was looking to enter this one yesterday if we came back down to get an entry in here, because overall the area is amazing, position is great. Sequence now becomes a little bit ugly because this is like not the best start, but maybe we can counter this one with a good entry. So we have this one, we still have this one. So if we get a little lower time frame flag, we can actually play that. But unfortunately, we're going into London Open and we need some kind of 5 minute at least hover in here. I would prefer like a 15-minute hover. So I think it's pretty unlikely that we're going to get this one going into the most liquid session of the day. But let me still cover this one because I think it's a pretty nice trade, to be fair. Kiwi Cat doing Kiwi Cat things, being corrective. So we got our value area in here, which we technically took out. I would love to have seen price really take out the area, so we left a little bit of a gap. So it always now carries the risk of price scooping back up, especially because like we started in a very nice sequence with these smaller continuations. Now this could have been like the first larger continuation, but it doesn't really commit. I mean, it shows a V shape, it shows like continuation. So technically we're still in trend, but it has to go now to, so this continuation needs to go now, and so it doesn't carry the risk of being coming back to the upside. I think there are better Kiwi crosses on the cards. I don't really see how this could have been an entry. Maybe if we're gonna form some kind of hover in here, let's say Kiwi Cat, so Kiwi Yen. Similar story where essentially we have this it's an ending structure. It's not really the cleanest. This was looking like 1, 2, 3, which could still happen, but I think it's less likely at this stage. So I'm just gonna monitor this one. Maybe the next continuation down the run is gonna be my play, similar to Kiwi Cat, where we're now like in an open range again and we can separate this structure on its own. That would still make sense. It's not like the picture perfect trade, but as long as we can manage it within here, it's fine. Kiwi dollar making its way to the bottom of the range. I mean, Kiwi dollar is very nice on the high time frame. Show you like this. This is proper daily momentum. This is what we want to see in this area. 1 hour chart, larger structure at this stage. What I actually do like is that we have all these tiny stacks in price action right at the top, and now we're forming larger continuation. That is pretty nice. So we do have our double top in there, maybe in here, if you really separate the structures. But similar to the other Kiwi crosses, it would have been like we need a little hover, like a separated structure. So this is like not tradable price action. And I'm going to probably run with Kiwi Cat, Kiwi Yen, covering those. GA not on watch. This is a straight up nope, because like from a high time frame you can see price took out our value area, but then didn't form continuation. And this looks a lot like it will come back down, really take out the high before the low before then going. So if I'm going to take this, I'm leaning more towards the short than the long, but we need like a proper impulse first. And finally to the mix is Aussie Yen, which is definitely going to be on watch. High value area, looking for the short. We can basically take this in 15 minutes as a 4 hour play. So that is definitely the best trading scenario which we do have today. So this is going to be like trade one, the background position, and then we can look at the lower time frames for some kind of stacks This is not like the best price action, but if gonna get like a little hover into London Open, 5 minute chart is completely valid and fine for this one. I'm gonna add into my 4 hour position with this one. So those are like my two scenarios, and Aussie and definitely being high on watch today. So let's just wait for the 50 minute to close, the 4 hour to close, and this is going to be probably trade of the day. I'm just going to set this one after the recording. So keep your eyes peeled for that. We do have a very nice mix of opportunities on the cards, and I hope you enjoyed me breaking down the trading plan before I go into this forecasting session. So yeah, I really hope this helped you in preparing for your trading day. And yeah, trade safely, keep on absolutely smashing it, and I gotta see you tomorrow, guys. Take care.